G'day guys, welcome back to Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, where we do daily videos. And if you're a fan of the Steelers and a fan of this channel, hit that sub, hit that like. We are about 3 days away, guys. 3 days away. The Steelers versus Saints. Both teams in a bit of trouble right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 2-6. We haven't seen this for a very long time. I have one big thing in mind though, as I start to get, hyped up. Like as you go through the motions of the previous loss against the Eagles, even before that, you get all hyped up. Can we win this game? How's the team going to respond? Stuff like that. The Steelers did lose that game against the Eagles, 2-6. Got absolutely shellacked, got taken to town. But as you draw to the next game, with the next game being the Saints, and after a fresh bye, also guys, hopefully you guys had a good bye. If you do follow the Steelers and you run around town on YouTube, there's a lot of content everywhere, including our channel. There's so many different guys like DK. Here we go show. Stay the Steelers, BTSC. There's so much content everywhere. So there's a lot to take in all the time. I do understand that. There's so much going on, but it's a good reflection sometimes to take a bit of time off and just sit back and enjoy the bye. I definitely enjoyed the bye. I went up to Queensland, played some pickleball, and I won a competition. I won a competition in doubles, and I had a fantastic time. Had 3 days off. Still recovering slightly from that. I'm still a bit sore around the edges of all the running and stuff like that. But it's good to take time off the bye. But the reason why I bring up the bye is we're 3 days away from Steelers versus Saints. And to me, it's one of those critical times in the season that if you're not ready for this, I really do doubt the coaching. Now, I'm not saying go and fire Tomlin, but I'm saying this tends to happen a lot when the coach or the organization isn't ready for a game. And when I say they're not ready is when they come out of the gate straight away. You've had 10 days pretty much to prepare, get players healthy. Now, we do have Miles Jack, Witherspoon, and some other guys, on the injured list, including Chris Boswell, right? Some guys, even with time off, are still getting injuries. But in this preparation phase for the 10 days, you have a lot of time to, take time away. 3 or 4 days, take time away, players to see their families, to hit the refresh button, and then also in that time to come back to the facility and get back to work, implement new schemes, implement different packages, on offense, on defense. And I want to go through how they can and how they should be preparing for this game on the offense and then on the defense. Like, to me, if you're going to be a coach in this world or you're going to be a player, with 10 days off is a lot of time to prepare for a team. And if you come out flat, I think there's something vitally wrong with the team and the organization. And we've seen that happen before in big games versus the Cleveland Browns a couple of years ago in the playoffs, where the team just came out flat and we lost it, right? And I think this could be a perfect example where this could happen. Now, I'm not saying it will happen. I don't want it to happen. But I'm saying with so much time to prepare for a team, they could come out flat, right? But of course, I'm going to put myself up there and get all hyped up and all keen to play, keen to watch the game. It will be my 5 a.m. watching the game, and I can't wait. But preparation is key for this game. Now, on the offense, you have Kenny Pickett coming out and saying they want more time to look at the playbook and they need to study more. They need to inverse themselves in the playbook a lot more than they do. Now, straight away, Matt Canada and Mike Tomlin cut that down and said, they're doing enough. So I don't really agree with that. But if they're doing enough, then you should be ready for this game, and there should be a plan to go out there and score points. There should be a plan to go out there and score more than 15, because the average right now is pretty bad. 15 points a game is pretty bad, and a lot of those points are coming from Chris Boswell's leg. Okay, so offensively, if you're preparing for this game for the next set of 9 games, getting everything ready, I believe that Kenny Pickett has to work better with Matt Canada, and whose fault that is. If it's Matt Canada's fault or Kenny Pickett's fault or whoever, both guys need to come together and start to work and see how they can be victorious on Sunday, right? Develop a scheme, develop ideas where they can throw the football down the field and get first downs. I believe they should go out and use Pickens more. Definitely use Pickens more. I also believe that they should be using Frymouth a lot more in tight end, using him in the middle of the field, using him even more in blocking schemes, getting him in that like kind of like Travis Kelce role. But we just haven't got, from what we've seen so far, we haven't seen the playbook do that. You just won't see the check downs to move that much. You see quarterbacks target Frymouth late in games, and even Kenny Pickett late in games. You don't see that from the get-go. Now, in Fantasyland, I want to see that happen. I want to see Pickett target Muth and target Pickens. There are two guys who can do that. I want to see also DJ become more lively into a game and not just go through the motions, right? We got rid of one of my favorite players, which he's not my favorite player, Chase Claypool, and I'm kind of happy that's done. But that also arises now for an example that Steven Sims can step up and start making some plays. I think Steven Sims is a great punt returner. Can be a great returner as well in kickoffs, but we don't get that many, right? He can be a good receiver as well. I want to see him be, a focal point in the offense. But it all depends on what Matt Canada's going to call. We don't know what he's going to call, right? So all these things I get so hyped up about. Najee Harris, I think, is really disappointed in himself, and he should be. He has like 3.6 yards a carry. He's doing awful, right? Jalen Warren, I believe, deserved a shot. There are two guys that I would like to see the Steelers have a 1-2 punch. But same kind of thing. Until I see it on the football field, until I see the 1-2 punch actually happen, we have to almost, in our preparation, prepare for the worst, because that's sometimes what we see. The Pittsburgh Steelers right now offensively are the worst team in football. 32nd in most categories, and it's almost like that Matt Canada doesn't even care. He's just going to play his way, and that's it. Just go through the motion, use his 15 plays, and that's it. So, offensively speaking, I want to see the guys like move the football down the field and be cohesive as a unit, because they haven't done that. They haven't really done that. Big Ben last year, I thought, myself included, a lot of fans gave him a lot of flack, but at least he tried to move the football down the field in this bad offense. He really did. Now, also, offensively on the O-line, we've got to give Kenny time. Keep him upright. And also on the O-line, I know it comes down to different play calls and schematics on the O-line, but at the end of the day, it's your biggest guy or my biggest guy against your biggest guy. And right now, our big guys aren't winning up front. They're just not doing it. They're getting punched in the backfield. Mason Cole to James Daniels. There's no one talking about them as standout offensive line players. Chooks, no one says they're standout. No one's talking about the big pack up front is making headway for Warren and for Najee Harris. It's just not happening. So collectively speaking, those guys have to get it together. And what better way than a buyer to do that? What better way than a buyer to get together and try and find some cohesiveness in pushing the pile forward and actually moving the ball forward? But we haven't seen that, right? We haven't seen it at all. So they have to prepare for this game. And the thing is, if they're not prepared for this game, and I haven't even talked about the defense yet, but even on the defense, you're getting guys back like Kazi, right? And I'll just make this point for the defense. Kazi, you're getting guys back like, Terrell's back there, Minka, Miles Jack's out now. So you got to prepare to who's going to fill in for Miles Jack. Will it be Devin Bush and Robert Spillane, which would be probably a weak area? William Jackson III, you got him via a trade, but his back's hurt already, and he's been injury prone throughout his career. So who's going to, jump in that spot? Also, we haven't had any news yet. At the time of recording, I'm recording on the 11th on your Thursday night. So we've heard nothing about TJ Watt. So there's still TJ Watt to come back into the mix, right? And all these things that I am stressing right now, which is preparation. If you're not prepared for this game, offensively, defensively, even to a matter of fact of getting the new kicker prepared as well for this game, then everything's going to fail. And hopefully it doesn't do that, because you've had 10 days, Mike Tomlin, Terrell Austin, Matt Canada, the Rooneys, the organization. You've had such a long time to prepare for this game. And also, I just looked up as well. I believe that Mike Tomlin is 11-4 since 2007 coming back from the bye. So in favor, they have been prepared after the bye. But they've also been different teams, and that also includes, Big Ben playing for the Steelers most times, right? Now, also, too, the Steelers have never beaten, or Mike Tomlin has never beaten the Saints. It's the only team in the NFL that Mike Tomlin has never beaten. He's 0-3 against the Saints. So this game for me, and what I want to stress, is leading up to three more days to go. Steelers versus Saints at home, by the way. You have to get ready for a Saints team that isn't as good. It's a similar spot as the Steelers. You're playing Andy Dalton. You have Jameis Winston there, but that didn't work out. One of your good pieces is Alvin Kamara, and they have to get him the ball. We need to shut him down. But in preparation, if the Steelers aren't ready, it's gonna hurt, isn't it, guys? Like if we see the same old, when we turn on the TV, it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and Matt Canada runs out Kenny Pickett, and Gentry goes in motion, and they hand off to Najee Harris for a 2-yard run. It's gonna hurt just a little bit. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video and more of a longer format talking about the team. But what I want to stress is just it's frustrating to know that how much time you have. Sure, go have 3 or 4 days off. Go see your family. But when it's time to come back to the building, it's go mode. It's work time. This is now a must-win situation for any chance of the playoffs. It's a must-win situation.